before the three letters that you didn't seem too enamoured with, TNA Wrestling. Now, previously, you told me that you weren't a great fan of the product, and that perhaps the talent pool that TNA had, they didn't really do themselves justice at any point up to now.
Well, even criticizing TNA because I just watched it. I don't watch it much anymore. It's not on in Canada like they watch it over here. I guess it's free TV, right? I have a lot of empathy for the guys working there. I mean, there was a lot of guys that I really liked. I was a big fan of AJ Styles. Still a big fan of his. I can't believe that guy that good is not wrestling for anybody. He's just too good. I don't know why WWE didn't jump at him. He's too good a wrestler not to go to WWE, so I imagine he'll get there sooner or later. But TNA, I just think, without going on a big negative thing about them, I really felt like, to me, they had a great potential. Like there was a real calling for another wrestling company to step up, and the foundation was there. And there's a lot of guys that I know that were working for them that have pretty good wrestling sense to help pull that company together. But I really thought that when they signed Vince Russo to do the writing, that they kind of were going the exact same way, that somehow somebody woke up one day and said Vince Russo was an expert on wrestling. And the same thing with Eric Bischoff. Somehow this little idiot became sort of a declared genius of wrestling, and there's a lot of those. But I mean, the fact is that I've seen very few guys that actually understood wrestling that didn't actually do it or grow up around it or were in it. You can't just. Some of these guys, Vince Russo being one, and maybe even Eric Bischoff, were just sort of fans like anyone else. They weren't qualified to run wrestling. They didn't even know a good ending, or they didn't know a good wrestler from a bad wrestler. And I think that was the problem with TNA, is they immediately struck out and hired the idiots that had failed wrestling already, and Eric Bischoff being one and Vince Russo the other. That I don't mean that as a knock on both of them, but it is. They just weren't, to me, they were never qualified. I never saw anything that either one ever did that ever made me go, well, now they're finally getting it. They're starting to do some good stuff. Everything I ever did that I ever watched was like second rate and less than it could have been. And guys like that are cancer in wrestling. They should be locked up and put away and never put in charge of anything.
That's an interesting